And I just think sometimes you hear these naive things like, I don't need anyone other than my partner or something like that. You're like, that's all wonderful. Like, they may be the centre of your earth, and I appreciate that. But having somebody outside of that to talk to is also really, really valuable.
I think you mentioned the third place in the pub, and just having men losing their third places, and I've had that conversation with more than one of my close friends. What are you doing that's not your wife, not your kids?
What are you doing that's not your wife?
Well, do you know what I mean? You're not spending time. Cut.
Pack that in.
Wilksy just went down a rabbit hole. Yeah, I mean, what are you spending your time doing that is not the direct kind of like survival stuff?
I talk to men all the time, and this will be the same for women because they get together. But women are just much better at cultivating their friendships and relationships. I don't know what that is, but they are, in my experience. People have probably heard me talk about this a million times, but third places are fucking crucial. And if I talk to men my age and friends, very often you'll hear the same gripes. It's like flipping out. I go to work, I come home, and I'm working,
monotonous.
I'm home, I'm sorting this out, working home, and it's like. You get a little catch up on a WhatsApp voice note. Whereas women do tend to, in my experience, the women we coach and that, they do tend to work harder. I think they're not lucky. It's not their fortune.
No, it's just...
They work harder at going, okay, I'm meeting the girls next month, and it's on the, much more organised.
It's not
probably.
universal, because I know a couple of women that don't like that social interaction for a number of reasons.
Yeah, of course. Everyone's different.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, having the ability just to shoot the shit about it. And, not being a parent for a day.
Yeah. If you can distance yourself from your responsibilities without being negligent.
Yeah.
And I know that I've been negligent in the past. So, I feel some guilt about that, because when you say, I want to go and do this adventure, it takes me away for a week. Someone's got to look after those kids. And it's, for the most part, my wife takes the burden. She's incredibly patient with me and understands the reasons why I sometimes...
You do the same, don't you?
Yeah, and exactly. And, I'm lucky that she doesn't want to go and climb Kilimanjaro, and all those kinds of crazy, nutty things that I want to do. And so I have more space to be able to act as a more adventurous person. But not everybody understands it. There's plenty of people that probably would look out with of our relationship and say, he spends a lot of time away. And for me, some of it is vital to my mental health. Some of it is a desire to be a better person. Some of it's a desire to
just following your desires in general.
Yeah. And
I think, again, people always look outside and say, this is what a good relationship is. But actually, that's decided by the two people in it.
Exactly, yeah.
Or these days, if you're a celebrity, there are 3 or 4 people in it.
We don't all have that luxury, do we?
But it's decided between the 2 people in it. It's like, well, this is what people, a good husband or a good wife or and this is how it should work. It's like, actually, we decide how we want to live.
I think if
we're both happy and it works and we raise a family well, what's the issue?
I think you have to be able to act independently, because at some point, one of you is likely to be independent, And that's a trueness that's probably universal, unless you both die on the same day,
But also having space away from people in general.
Yeah,
it's got to be good, isn't it? Time on your own, time with other people, time with them.
Absolutely.
Variety is the spice of life.
Indeed.
It's like, bloody hell, like, if you love living in someone's pocket, great, do you? But there's people who don't. I need a lot, right, of time on my own.
Yeah, we're in marital advice mode now, aren't we? At this point.
Yeah, but we're not. We're saying do what works for you.
Yeah. It's all individual.
I just need time on my own. I like it. I like having that time on my own with the dog, or long walk with a dog and a quick pint at home. A little bit of time just to let my thoughts spin around, and I love that. But I would also allow the other people around me to have that time on their own.
Of course, yeah.
I wouldn't go, well, you can't do that.
No.
But it's relationships in general. It comes back to everything I say all the time. I think it's like each their own, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, it takes a village, doesn't it? Everyone's individual.
It takes a village to raise a child, they say.
Yeah. Well, it takes a village to do almost anything,
We love talking about community, me and you.
We do. And it's funny because, I haven't always had the best community. I've been in some toxic environments at times and thought, you know, I'm kind of missing the good stuff. You know, I think about my military mates. You probably make 5 good military mates in your life if you do that if you go through that process. You know, and we can not speak to each other for 2 years, and I'll, you know, send a message to somebody and go, remember that?
Yeah, you've been bonded by things you've been through.
You've been bonded by some challenging stuff. You know, some difficult corporal or whatever that's kind of told you off. And
yeah, that shared experience is huge, which is why isolation is so debilitating. Yeah. Isolation is huge. One of the biggest forms of emotional burnout, isolation.